welcome back to Meathead Gaming. The next giveaway will be an AK and a AWP, both redline. All you have to do to be eligible to win the skin is to be subscribed to the channel and to comment on any of my videos. The winner will be announced on the 15th of June 2019. Thank you very much for watching and enjoy the video. Until next time, stay strong.
Together to fully flesh out a map pool for themselves, but I do think there's a lot of potential for the team. So looking like an exciting matchup here. Great way to finish this series off, and off the pistol already getting aggressive. What? Already just blitzing all of MiBR.
At all. As we've seen with many teams, there can be a lot of mid-round calling or contributions from different players other than the in-game leader. So that will certainly help. But I mean, for me, I have to favour MiBR on Mirage. But we'll see if Complexity can continue to surprise us.
This buy is actually kind of scary. I don't know how Coldzera has managed to afford a Krieg and full Kevlar and helmet. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. AK out, Galil out. Looks like a really strong round as far as the firepower is concerned. The utility obviously will be what is lacking. And I guess Fur must have dropped.
Yeah, he must have dropped and been given a deagle by someone else.
Yeah.
Phelps' timing was just about missed. The CT's rotating. Ricky pretty low. He's rung the better Phelps. He knows that. Phelps trying to jump onto short. He will hit the ceiling of the window and fail that. There are some chances though for MiBR to do something. There are two players who are vulnerable to even a leg shot from the Desert Eagle, so this could quickly turn around.
There you go, that Krieg, the scope, really panning out. The superior firepower is doing the damage. Shazam and Depth here ready to try to save this one, or maybe they'll be thinking about saving. It's hard to say at this point. If Shazam can get a quick 1-2, obviously there's a strong argument to try to go for some damage, but it's just not looking likely. Already MiBR has shut down all the relevant choke points, so save is their hand is forced effectively. So this force buy has worked out really well for MiBR. I do think that the force buys on both sides are really strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's something we see with a greater degree of consistency. I was very surprised in the NIP games to see that they just didn't force buy at all, especially because they lost every single pistol. I think it's a pretty solid move, especially when you get that bomb down. Look at this. They're going to survive with 4 players. Picked up an AUG on Fur as well for their troubles.
It's a very big turnaround from MiBR. Lots of action from that connector position from the T's. So again, not a favourable start for Complexity, especially on the CT side. But they can buy around what they were able to save, or try to. There's not really so much to buy with. So this situation absolutely sucks for Complexity. They've got the AUG and some pots and pans, basically. It's not quite PUBG. See what MiBR can do if they can capitalise on this advantage. They've got the flashbangs up towards top mid. There are some grenades from the CTs as well. Fallen blind in a Molotov. There will be a smoke though to help him out a little bit. Def going beyond the angle, and Fur will take advantage of that with the AUG. Shazam will try to make a difference. A tight angle being held by Fur. He's expectant, and he will deliver a second kill. That's a big weapon taken away, leaving 2 deagles and a scout for Complexity.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter how much damage you do if the players stay alive. And keeping those numbers together at this point on the T side is going to be really beneficial. Just trading into a bomb site, you can see they'll begin to converge towards the A ramp together with the bomb. And looking good to finish off the rounds. Yeah, only really an oboe to stop things. He's on default at this point. Now, you can actually get a surprising amount of value from the deagle in and around those bomb boxes if you pick good timings. If you wait for the T's to be running into position, away from Tetris, maybe towards the site, and then that's when you can peek in, like now. Can't land the connections though, there's one. Although there's Phelps in connector to finish things off, so... look how tagged up these players are. The scout is effectively an AWP, but there's no way for Ricky to know. And he'll run away.
Try and hold on to what he has. It is eco territory for Complexity in the next round, so their best positions and opportunities have come and gone in this round, so they may as well try to hold on to these and start again in the next one. If they can pick off a weapon and collect it while they have numbers, then maybe something can be done. Vertigo, not the result they were expecting, but if you don't play it, you won't improve on it. Curious to see if there'll be more changes. Again, they'll need more evidence, the developers, in order to look at updating the map should they feel it be required. So we'll see how Vertigo will grow and how long it will stay in the map pool for. Again, the shadow of cash is looming, but there's no guarantee as far as anyone in public is concerned as if it goes straight back into the map pool or what happens. But it is Mirage for the time being. Anti-eco territory for MiBR. They know there's a few bits and bobs to try and avoid. So we can focus on how they approach an anti-eco situation with a few dregs, a few weapons here and there. Standard stuff. Smoke towards the catwalk. We've got a Molotov to stop angles being held by the CTs while they take position the T side, top mid. 2 players towards A early would suggest ultimately a play towards A, even with the bomb in mid and a lurker towards B. They will have initial map control to keep the CTs honest, to try and stop any pushes anywhere, any dodgy flanks or anything like that. So that would be part of why on this particular run there are 2 people towards A. So in a buy versus buy, if you start with 2 towards A, often that is an indicator of the ultimate plan. But here, I think, at least for the start, they're trying to just keep the CTs honest.
So Obo's gone for the taser, and he's under the window, and the bomb's going towards B as well. There is a world where this works out for Complexity. And there's 3 players here as well. Shazam and Sick are arriving towards B as well. So they have everybody here. The bomb will now make his rotation back. If he survives for much longer, things will get a bit annoying, but they will finish him off, and Fallen will rotate through. But I would imagine that they realize this Complexity, but they'll be locked out by grenades, or at least by the smokes on jungle and also CT. We're still looking to get some value from that taser, but at this point, it's not looking like there's going to be too many options for it. Indeed, Fels will take his head off.
I feel like at this point you're wanting to try and save the second rifle in that short position. Well, there's a different way to do it. Kevlar and one of the players, the guy with Kevlar's 25 HP, I think they've got everything that they're going to get from this round. Now, I think Shazam may have been heard by Fallen in T-spawn, so that's 1 rifle taken away. Sick scoped in. Now, in this situation, if you wanted to unscope, I think you'd be better off pressing Q twice as opposed to unscoping and giving a sound cue away to somebody who could be close, because that would make it harder for him to save. So you can just hide behind the TV. Can't find a signal. Might need an aerial, but there's no ENTs here today.
Alright, so the buy's back in, AWP onto Shazam. Shazam bought helmets, and now he doesn't have a smoke. How dare you, Shazam? How dare you? Oh well. So here we go. We'll start to see perhaps a change of pace. Complexity will have way more to work with than they have in any round before this one. But putting some pressure in front of the window. Getting smoked off as is the standard. Lots of smokes down on catwalk already, actually. All this harassment, Obo coming back behind the smoke in the window. Perhaps there's some flash plays to unlock some aggression from him later on towards middle. As MiBR go for a mid take. This is a default. They had earlier fallen towards the B apartments. Obo ready for that one. No boost for you. A smoke ball. Oh no, it didn't extinguish the flames. And that's Obo dead.
Sick in a very unorthodox position. 1 minute on the clock, plenty of time for MiBR. Moving through mid with 3 people. Fallen looking towards Toll Booth, I would presume. And now asking questions of the B bomb site. Where will they choose to go? Lurker towards A. Going Going back there, it seems, maybe to offer some grenades or maybe to make a play. Fallen gets taken out. That's a bomb spotted as well in a very horrible position. Looking at the time on the clock, that bomb needs to be retrieved. That has put MiBR in a very, very awkward position, playing the clock slow. Shazam's been taken out eventually by Coldzera. Surely they're committed to a B play. Ricky's been at bench this entire time, just waiting. 20 seconds. Def waiting in the window. Seems some indecision. Ricky moving forward now to the pillar. He's been heard by Coldzera, and now there's surely got to be a mistake. Charging towards the bomb. Def has got to cover if there's a rotation. They may have just given the roundup.
Ouch. Oh man, that sucks.
They had such good positions.
That's the thing, though. You got to know, and the information. You know, we don't know exactly how the information was being communicated, or what information was necessarily missing for complexity.
I'll tell you what the information was. Fallen was carrying the bomb on short, and he got picked off. Def is in the window. They have to go through connector to plant the bomb on A. That's the information. I don't know what the hell just happened there. Charging towards short with the time on the clock. He was in bench forever in that round. I don't understand.
That's definitely a problem. But there's still plenty of time for recovery for complexity. Re-smoke on connector just to make things a bit more awkward here. But it's much easier for the T's to play around these smokes. In the sense that they have these rifles, they can spray these positions, they can wait it out, they've got utility, they can... Oh my god, that HE just did colossal damage. And there's the flashbang. No Molotovs, and well, Sick is having a happy time with that Deagle, so he's collected an AK-47. And now MiBR move towards the B-bomb side. There is absolutely work to be done with that AK, especially given the fact that Sick will make it to the bomb site first. But MiBR moved towards middle again, so they've kind of forced Sick to go towards B, and now they've isolated Def, who's got the weaker weapon. MiBR have played this perfectly.
33 seconds remain. MiBR no strangers to a slow round. Fallen. Oh, look at the timing. Look at the timing of that. That is just, it's just unfair, isn't it? Even if he doesn't get the kill, it's just annoying. Sick forced to save. It's been a rough start to Mirage for complexity. MiBR looking to move to round number 5. Sick, I'm sure, looking to hide in plain sight at this point. But this has not been the greatest of starts. They won the pistol, then disaster struck immediately, and it's been all MiBR. Complexity moving towards maximum loss bonus. They'll have a good buy in the next round. They need to have a good start for a good recovery.
Another round won by definition. That's the 4th now. So MiBR getting the maximum amount of money from these wins, pretty much. You get 3,500 from winning via destination or defuse, and 3,250 for elimination. So extra $250 goes a long way. Anyway, double ops coming out for complexity. So this is the ultimate buy, perhaps, from them. But will it have any better results? So far, it feels like MiBR found a good group.
Plenty of lineups on your box to learn. That is a Krieg in the face, and it doesn't feel nice. It kind of hurts. Def trapped by the van. He's going to be very exposed to be jumped up, but he
really well to qualify. Actually, they provided an extremely entertaining series in the online season to make the qualification a reality. And that's something that complexity don't have necessarily, because they're in a rebuilding phase with Obo and Def as the IGL, and Ricky was away for a while also, so they've had all these challenges recently and a lot of travel as well, so they are not going to be as resilient as they could be in a mere few weeks. But that's not to say that they can't still get spots at once. You need a lot of awareness. That was a close one. Almost getting that kill. And look at this setup here. 2 players around Palace, 2 in connector for complexity to play off of.
can hear that shouting.
5 versus 3. And Complexity back in this one. Stick with the palace push as well. They got all the info.
I'm not sure if that's a Warden shouting or Jason Lake. I'm sure he's here somewhere. Always been vocal. A great icon in esports. Phelps taking Shazam out, and Obo again, being an icon himself, trying to escape the Molotov, but he will be denied. But again, now Complexity know exactly where Coldzera is. There's no one on the A bomb site. Sick is top mid for now. Rick is in the window, holding an angle towards A. In jungle, rather. And that will be a 7 round for MiBR to the 3 of Complexity. We've got double snipers now for Complexity and 1 for Fallen, 3 on the map altogether, but plenty more scopes, Augs, Kriegs, a lot of it, plenty of variation in the weaponry.
Dev doesn't know what he has in store for him. Fallen waiting, but Shazam's there in the market position with that AWP, and he's traded out Fallen. That's really important. Will slow things down. He's also pushed past the door, but this is very risky. Oh, that's a shot to miss, and Fur is not going to miss himself. That's a 4 versus 3 now, and Sick will come forwards. Fur wins another duel. Coldzera on Catwalk as well, or around Catwalk will pick up 1 too. So Complexity can't even make things, they can't make this a coordinated effort. They've been split up into these 1v1s. Obo making his way in from the apartments, and how much work does he have to do on his hands here? So much, way too much to handle, as Phelps will take him down, and MiBR will pick up their 8th rounds. And Complexity, their money is not really there.
That's a devastating round for Complexity. I think MiBR can target an 11-4 scoreline for the time being. Some short-term goals, and now MiBR will have the double ops, 4 sniper rifles on the map, and there's no scouts to be seen. So this will be a very interesting round of Counter-Strike. Now, when there are 2 ops on the T side, it can be very interesting. If they hold angles and the CTs don't go for aggressive spots, then that can really slow down the push and put some awkward timing for a T side. So you've got the cheeky peeks, Shazam going back to the wall. He even had the boost from his teammate. It's not safe to hop up on the box there, even at the beginning of a round, but a boost from his teammate won't help him survive. Obo makes sure that Fallen is very, very dead, but it's still a man advantage for MiBR as Rick moved up top mid.
Yeah, that peak for Shazam seemed very strangely optimistic. Once you know an AWP is there, as you say, it's really a disadvantageous spot to go back up onto the barrel there. But 3 AWPs for Complexity, why not?
That took so long for him to recognize that somebody was there.
It's, yeah, that was just chameleon mode.
It's like the old versions of CS where you could put a spray of a team on the wall or something. Angled the hard way.
Yeah, they're going to continue with the 3 AWPs, which, you know, of course you would. You're not going to throw them away, so don't have that much money.
Scout lands the first shot, of course. So 4 sniperoos, one of which is the scout on Fallen. He's got a lot of tagging to do. If this team can stay alive, then there may be some easy follow-ups in order. We can see Obo has moved to a safer position. Trivia, this spot, you see the pallets between the bricks? They have gaps in them and you can see through them. So if you're on T-ramp, you can see somebody's feet in a sandwich position, unless they're deep in the corner, which is slightly elevated, and then you will not be able to see them. As you can see, there is a step. So Obo's on the step, so you wouldn't see him. But if you're just standing generally in the sandwich area, then you can see and shoot the feet through the pallet.
The sandwich position can be really impactful, and I like that Obo's there because it is one of those spots where if it's unchecked, you can win the rounds, but if they throw a Molotov, you're going to die anyway. So with his HP as it is, he can't really fight. It's praying that they don't Molotov this. They don't really have the utility to Molotov. They only Phelps with one, and there it goes towards D4. So Obo could be in a really pivotal position. It's such a hard spot to check when you're moving around this position. You're checking the site typically. Shazam's taking down everybody. Obo is not even required. It's just
7 rounds from Complexity, and they put MiBR into eco territory. Those bomb plants that were coming so frequently, they've started to slow down, and this may be a gratis round for Complexity. Shazam appears to only have a P250 after, okay. I don't know what was going on there, but Sick looking under the window. Ooh, got to be careful. Seems to be a very high-risk play from him. Fallen jumping, he'll get slam dunked. Phelps and Cole trying to do what they can, but I mean, maybe this has a part to play in the next round because the money's not awesome for Complexity, so there's potential for something to be done. Coldzera doesn't have the body, he's got an AWP though, and he will get chinned by the likes of Def.
What do we have for you? We've got a fast play to top mid. Ricketts made a jump across though, and that's when it really sucks. It's when they play a rush towards middle. That's when you get blown up when you make that jump across. Obo only good for the one. A Sick defense a ramp. Critical frag from Sick, all things considered. And the timing from they could definitely get going and their momentum could be unstoppable.
We shall soon see. Fallen with a smoke and a defuse. The remainder of MiBR with Kevlar, Def and Ricky with plenty of grenades, no P250s to close down that range, but maybe the flashbangs will help them, two of which they have. You can see Fallen, he's holding a smoke actually, maybe expectant of a potential Molotov or just to create some space. It will be the latter. Let's see how this works, trying to isolate some crossfire, some trade situations, but he'll get taken out from a surprising angle. 5 versus 3, no answers just yet. We've got some poking and prodding through the smoke towards first position, and it looks like a take of CT is expected. But this turns around. Again, the black and red Complexity now blue. This will change. Hopefully I'll be going to see their facilities in a few weeks. 8-8. Pistols for MiBR to scout onto Fallen. Let's see how the anti-force spy is for Complexity on a more conventional map. They will start with some position towards top mid, the usual stuff. The Molotov in towards connector. Fer is waiting to get beyond it. We've got Ricky creeping out of Palace back towards T-spawn. Phelps up close towards a ramp with a CZ75 and a smoke grenade. 2 players on short for MiBR. Expecting some presence towards connector eventually, and I think Fallen's looking to do some damage there. And if he can, then maybe Fer will pop around the corner and try and finish off those players. Molotov to take the angle away from Fallen. So far, so good.
And there it is, pushing through connector, sandwiching the A-round players, and Coldzera. He's had many deagle kills in this series so far, but not in the best of circumstances. I wonder if that was a headshot actually through the box on Shazam. It did a lot of damage, that one shot. Coldzera like an artillery gun with that deagle of his from distance.
You don't want to duel cold for that long with a deagle. Alright.
Complexity, again, a team which hasn't got a lot of preparation. Nice little pop flash robo there to check underparts. But they got some new blood and it's been put to good use so far. Obo's having a great performance, I would say, in this series so far. Looking forward just to seeing the stats at the end of this one, seeing how they look. And here comes the push onto the B bomb site, and things are looking pretty clean. Just Coldzera left on the A site, so a very well cleaned up rounds indeed. But then MiBR are biding their time until they can get the AWPs out. That's when things will get really interesting.
You know, I think this might be wide open now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really do think
is. I think if it's like one of those. This is one of those maps where, you know, if a team gets a really good economy off the bat with the CT side, things can snowball a little bit. But that's not what happened. I think we've got the perfect scenario here for a competitive game.
The perfect storm. Which are all too rare in esports at the moment, and there is the man himself, Jason Lake, one of the... He loves it, man. Never short of passion. Rarely seen without a tie on, but I like the jerseys, I like the polos.
Yeah. Might be a faster one here from Complexity if you can see that they got 2 players in Palace. The bomb's been spotted, the trade's there. Okay, when the ball gets spotted like that and you get a trade, you're in a great position. It's a 4v4. You can kind of abandon any plan that you originally had, reset the situation. You've got players towards B apartments in middle, so you've got loads of space and time to work with. And
The funny thing is, though, is that you could arguably continue, because the default thing to do there is to abandon your plan A, and your opponent will expect that as well. So there is an argument to sometimes execute your plan A anyway, because it's arguably less likely because you've kind of shown your hand a little bit.
Well, Complexity are going to be cutting noise for quite some time, then going back in for an A play, and they're going to be trying to fake here with Def. So Def's thrown his nade set towards B, trying to pull rotations, trying to keep the B players there for as long as possible. But MiBR knows what's up, and Complexity will get a bomb plant out of this. So the question is if Fer can throw a wrench into the works, but that is a very nicely timed flash. That shuts down the ability to make a play and buys it. Look at these flashes towards CT. It's buying time to get positioning post-plant, and MiBR give it up. That is crazy. I wonder how much of a difference those flashes made, because MiBR couldn't attack James. They couldn't attack in that crucially weak, vulnerable period where you're repositioning after getting the bomb down.
Yeah, I think those flashes had a lot. The bomb site, Complexity would give up a sort of moving into passive positions, but those flashes were so well timed. As far as MiBR know, they could be a push into CT, they could be looking to take it, so they are forced to fall back and and there we go, the bomb is detonated. 4 players survive for Complexity, 3 further away, and if it comes too late to make a difference, because there's a fair chance it will, then it could be very, very interesting indeed.
So MiBR have presence in Palace, falling with a deep enough angle to catch Def, who's actually making his way forwards. Def does not have the weapon to win that fight, and Fallen's going to take it. Phelps has the shadow advantage, and this was just an unexpected aggression here for Complexity. They had no idea this was coming, and they suffered greatly. What do they do at this point? You can't really push through that smoke. This is a horrible spot where you kind of have to just give it up, reset this position, maybe start to take middle, try to set yourself up in other ways. But regardless, you have to cut noise for a while. That's something that you need to be able to do in this spot. They've left Oboe there. And Oboe can lurk A ramp, and as his teammates get closer to connector or catwalk, Oboe can start to try to make a play here. And he got the lurk smoke. This is a good one to learn, actually. And there it is. Now they're coming up to catwalk. Perhaps Oboe can be unleashed. And Oboe now starts to make noise.
First got a lot of sound cues though from his position. He heard Shazam scoping, and then Shazam goes down for free. 2 versus 5. This was a key round for Complexity again. No AWP, which is now likely to be collected. They know where Oboe is. They hear the reload, looking for the transfer, not quite getting there. And whilst it's in the window, don't know what he can really do with this. You can see that Coldzera is holding an angle from CT spawn, so it seems that the damage will be limited. Will the AWP be rescued though? Not really in position.
Case that Complexity really had no idea that it was possible. And they're going for a fast take of top mid. They've got Def there looking for the pick. AWP in hands. Ricky in the Palace pushing quite quickly actually. Okay, Ricky's in position. Oh, is he just going to go for a raw peek? Oh my god, Fon's looking for it. Can you believe it? Looks like MiBR have a decent read on the situation.
Early man advantage for the Brazilians. Always good for them. Really quiet rounds from Complexity, quite slow, measured rounds, and it seems an execute is in order, but how solid will Taco's position be? 2 of the 5 players towards the B-box side of the crossfire. Taco is continuing to be a problem. They're lining up, they're stuck in a choke point, and they get absolutely decimated. Shazam now 1 versus...
Them with the contact play. I think at this point, MiBR have defended very well against most styles we've seen from Complexity. Even though it's just been 2 rounds, they've shut both of those plays down pretty effectively, and MiBR have not been going too aggressive, so they may be encouraging Complexity to play more default Counter-Strike, go back to the mid takes, leave someone A ramp, leave someone B apartments, whilst you take mids, get someone into ladder room, get someone into connector potentially. We'll see how Complexity decides to deal with things.
Smoke has missed. You see Kenny S throws that smoke as well. Look at his demos. You can see how it's supposed to land. Running jump throw, quite close to triple to smoke off the Palace position, but it doesn't seem to be doing too much harm. Obo with the Desert Eagle tagging, and there'll be a follow-up from Def, who's not smoked off, so maybe he will have an impact. For Complexity, only 2 players surviving for MiBR, and that's about $18,000 to $20,000 of damage. The AWP taken away as well is very, very key. Fallen's got $10,000, but he's going to have to spend a whole lot of that, so that may have a part to play in the rounds to come for Complexity, but he's got to find some success. It's been 3 rounds in a row now for MiBR, and they've been relatively comfortable.
Yeah, it definitely. They have looked pretty good despite losing the pistol and so on their CT sides. So more, it's up to Complexity now to make an argument, a convincing argument. And right now, Complexity is searching for a consistent approach against the MiBR. And this is kind of more of a default approach that I wanted to see, where we see this middle take coming in, underpass, top mids. They're not going to leave anyone in BS, but that's fine if they've left Ricky towards A ramp. So ultimately, they're set up in a variety of ways with these positions. One of the objectives is to take window or connector or ladder room, or all of them if you're really gangster. And then try to make a play off of that.
That's a big frag for Sick. Again, very, very slow rounds here on Mirage. So quiet. Big flashbang, almost walking into the bullet. Second player rotating towards CT of A. But the bomb is very far away at the moment, 35 seconds on the clock, and it's the raw peaks now, Complexity creeping in. I think only one player is being detected, so this could be a nasty surprise. Cold, I thought he had that one for free. There's a trade from... Where's your shouting now? Maybe not so loud. Complexity able to buy again. They've got 2 players with grenades, 2 of the 5. This will be a rough task though, a tall order, a flashbang. Fer gets traded very quickly, much fast moving pace now. MiBR maybe trying to take the game away from Complexity, make them uncomfortable, try and make the momentum concrete for the Brazilian side. 6 working off the top of connector, minute and a half on the clock. We've got Shazam lurking towards Palace. 3 players in connector. That is not the best smoke, but there's nobody there by the stairs.
I kind of like how that smoke's a bit deeper. It makes it easier to actually exit connector with your team. Trades though here, Phelps. Oh, he can't get the follow-up. Shazam, that was such an important second kill. And now Obo and Shazam against Coldzera and Taco. But they've got to get the bomb down, and there's no cover to do so, really. Can they make it happen?
And it's MiBR who are quiet again. And the mocking makes me feel like it's getting to them. Just one voice in the arena screaming at them. It's really amusing to me. It's awesome. Complexity move top mid with 4 players, and Obo makes his way, but there's a flank for Obo. Fer is creeping, he's crab walking with the CZ, but the spray will deliver. Obo taking minimal damage. He's got 24 kills for the moment, so he continues to be consistent for Complexity in that regard. And then he looked to split the B bomb site, but Coldzera is going to be a problem. He's got no Kevlar though, so aim punch is an issue, but he's got a USP for Fallen flying through. Now an AK's been collected, and everything will change. Fallen delivering, Shazam trading, but again, Coldzera with the Deagle. They know he's on the site. He's buying time. He's got 2 players on the high ground. This could get real bad for Complexity.
Shazam, kind of crazy impactful. You got the Complexity to spot where they win this one. MiBR don't have any money to buy, and so that effectively gets Complexity on 15 most likely. But same for MiBR. Complexity are also broke. They're feeling it. MiBR have a second sense. They know what's happening. Fallen gets a pick, a preemptive pick. Another one coming out as Def drops from the apartments. Fallen doing so much damage.
Battle Sniper Fallen has arrived, and maybe just in time for MiBR, but it is 3 versus 3, so perhaps not. He's been taken out. No grenades for Complexity. They've got time. The bomb plant pressure isn't there just yet. They need to eliminate more players. Otherwise, there's no way this is happening. You can see Taco on a fast flank. They know no grenades are up. Fer will put a smoke down to create some space, to run distraction. trying to invite the Complexity team to move behind it, and Taco gets into a stronger and stronger position. There is a minute on the clock, but he could really crush this round with some good timing. No one's going to be looking at Palace, surely. Sick in sandwich, gets dropped, that's the bomb on the floor, and that compounds the problems for Complexity. Ricky now on 4 HP, gets wrecked. 3 players survive for MiBR, and the score is tied once again.
Yeah, you can see that Sick in that position. He was in sandwich. He had the perfect spot to deal with Palace, but he had to also, well, he was also looking at a ramp. And I was about to say he also had to look at a ramp. I don't know if he had to, but that's what he was doing. So that was what did him in. And as mentioned, such an impactful round for MiBR to pick up. Full save coming in for Complexity. MiBR should be good to move to 14 rounds. No problems asked. No problems asked. No problems had. No questions asked. Oh my god, this is such a tense one. If Complexity win this match, it would be so monumental, so surprising.
Flashbang over the top to allow Third to peek. Checks the little platform first. And there's a smoke grenade. Is this one of those one-ways?
Yep.
Looks like it might be, but it's some pre-fire. The T side are aware. Why else would a CT smoke the window? But that may keep them distracted for the time being, and Fallen will maybe make use of that, taking Obo out. Shazam rotating his mini AWP, his deal towards the A-bomb site. Complexity, I think at this point it is a question of just trying to get a frag, even one will do. The money is still low for both of these teams. Complexity heading towards a buy. MiBR heading towards the lead.
So difficult to get anything done here. Shazam will get gunned down, Sick will get gunned down, and therefore will likely follow.
First got himself an AK-47. Now what will Complexity do? It looks like it might be a fast one towards the A-bomb site. We've got 4 of the 5 players headed in that direction. They'll set up some smokes towards mid to try and pull these out of position. Fur and Colder going for a mid push, leaving Phelps alone on the A-bomb site. Def gets taken out, but Phelps will get taken out on the A-bomb site. They don't have position, but they've done heavy damage. Obo and Ricky are so low. Bob's getting planted, but there's so much position. MiBR, how far can they really go for this? Sick with a huge frag in CT spawn. Cold attacker remain. Will they commit to trying to take this round back?
Their HP is so low though. All these players can die to one single bullet anywhere. And all the way down to the wire. As I am really looking forward to seeing what strategy is the choice of. Oh, they're going to go for a B rush. Oh my days. Are they going for a B rush, James? They actually don't know. They are. Oh my god.
Oh, there's so many sound cues. It goes bad. It's going to look disastrous. Ray does minimal damage.
Like, who would have anticipated that we could be in a position like this? You know, so many people were saying how much they are looking forward to seeing MiBR play because they're fresh, they've had time to relax, they've been playing better. But here we are, Complexity, new look Complexity.
3
dangerous.
MP9s on Mirage. Are they going to do exactly the same thing?
Oh my god.
This is probably the last thing that you expect. We've got 3 players very deep into the A-bomb site, so rotation is very far away. But Fallen's here with the AWP battle sniper. This is what he's built for. There's a smoke in the middle of the site, but he can't see anything just yet. There's crap everywhere. They're swarming.